With the increase of RVs and travel trailers on the road this year, we're going to show you our secrets for finding free campsites. But here's the best part. These tips will help you find campsites that cannot be found online, meaning you will join that small club of campers that stay absolutely free at all campsites and stay in some of the most beautiful locations in the world. So I'm going to start with the best tip first, and then I'm just going to lay some groundwork and then move into some of those websites and apps that will help combine with these tips. Before the best tip, I need to give you the foundational tip, and that is to learn to recognize boondocking sites. Once you can do this, all the other tips we use today are greatly going to increase in their ability to find you free campsites. Plus, we're going to take you on a journey today to find a boondocking site that has eluded us for over 2 years now. We found a new app that we think may have pinpointed this site, and we're going to share that app with you later because it is a game changer for finding boondocking sites. Now, you veteran boondockers know once you see 2, 3, 4 boondocking sites, it's kind of like you see one, you've seen them all. So I'm not going to teach you what a boondocking site looks like particularly. I'll give you some more tips of how to spot them on the road and from above a little bit later. I just say get out there and do it, because once you see 3 or 4 sites, they all share very similar features. So now for the best tip, guys. What we're going to do is open Google Earth because we need to see a 10,000 foot view. But this tip goes way beyond just the basics of Google Earth. But I think I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Veteran boondockers, stick around. I need to go back one step for the newbies. Let's start here with websites. If you do a Google search, there are plenty of websites about free camping. And what I will tell you is basically they all have the same information. And the app I'm going to talk about later, it basically trumps all these websites. It has all the sites that they have and then more. However, even though this new app is great, you're still going to want to use these websites occasionally because you never know when a camper who uses that particular website will show up, find a new boondocking location, and pin it on that website. Right, we're moving through the road construction.
And there's a sea.
I would start off with freecampsites.net. That's primarily where we go. It tends to be the most robust, the most up-to-date. And what you're going to do here is you're going to find a location you want to go to, type it into freecampsites.net, and then you're going to look for a boondocking site in that area. Okay, so here comes the great first secret tip. Find the GPS and then leave that website. That's right. You are going to find campsites that are not on these websites. You're just using them as a jumping off point to find more secluded, pristine spots. So I am going to get right back into these secret, amazing tips for finding boondocking sites. But I just want to tell you guys where we got our fall camping gear this year, and that is from our sponsor at backcountry.com. This fall, we gave a call to one of the gearheads at backcountry.com for some advice on how to alleviate some of the harshness of LED lights. One of the lights he suggested was the BioLite base light. We need a light that can do it all. High lumens for lighting our camp and cooking area, but we also need the ability to set the light intensity and hue for inside the trailer. And having the ability to charge our phone and camera batteries off this compact light was just a plus. We also grabbed a BioLite light diffusing stuff sack, which allows us to basically convert our harsh LED headlamps into some nice diffused lanterns for reading and general camp activities. Before this trip, we ended up grabbing a handful of fall comfort gear from them as well. May picked up a pair of Baffin Cush booty slippers to fight off the evening and morning temps, and she also grabbed a couple more pairs of smart wool socks. And I grabbed an affordable Backcountry Silver Fork 750 hooded jacket. You know me, I gotta have my hoods. For me, it's about the breathability during the day and keeping the core warm at night. And this jacket was a sweet deal. Backcountry has exclusive brands and their own branded gear, which helps keep the costs down. We also picked up a Groundwork double sleeping bag from Stoic, also a brand exclusive to Backcountry. And as an impulse buy on the way out, we picked up a Patagonia Kids trucker hat for East. You know we're suckers for those hats. Here in Alaska, our popular saying is, there's no such thing as bad weather, just poor clothing or poor gear. If it is gear or clothing that is holding you back from your next outdoor adventure, then head over to the experts at backcountry.com and start talking to those gearheads who are there 24/7 to help you get set up. We are partnering with backcountry.com to encourage you to get outside and find your backcountry, wherever that may be. Use code PLAYINGWITHSTICKS for 15% off your first purchase at backcountry.com. Thanks Backcountry for sponsoring this video. So now it's time to open up Google Earth and you're going to switch it to the satellite view. We suggest doing your first search on Google Earth online. And this is because the online version tends to be a clearer view. It allows you to see things better on the map. And I think this is because it combines Google Earth with Google Maps. Now later in this video, we're going to have you switch over to the desktop Google Earth standalone version, and that's one of the areas where you can really find campsites that nobody stays at because it has information in it that you cannot find on the online version. Now that you're looking down, typically if you know boondocking sites, you're going to start moving through basically a 20-mile radius. So here's the site you found on freecamping.net. Go back 20 miles and go on all the roads looking for locations that you're familiar with. But there's a much better way to do this, and this is another great secret. Such a simple secret, but I don't think a lot of you are doing this, and that is look for RVs from above. That's it. It's so basic. You're looking for the white roofs of RVs. But this tip gets a lot better than that, and that is my friend Evan Wharton, a friend I met here on Playing with Sticks, who is an Alaskan resident. We were going back and we were sharing waypoints online of our favorite boondocking sites. And Evan said, Drew, do you know that there's multiple map overlays based on the years that the Google camera took the Google Earth image? And at first I thought, well, why is that helpful? And then I realized boondockers are typically not your weekend warriors. Boondockers are out here the majority of the time. So if there is a boondocking site somewhere in that 20-mile radius, if you can't find it on that first year's map, if you go over and can't find any white roofed RVs, go to a different year's map. Chances are, using multiple year overlays, if there is a boondocking site in that location, there is going to be an RV or travel trailer or fifth wheel parked there. You like these turns? Hitting the gravel. Okay, this is turning out to be everything we thought it was going to be. This is gorgeous. So right after this next beneficial tip, we are about to show you what is arguably the best free camping site in Alaska. But we'll let you be the judge of that. Okay, so now let's talk about the newest resource I found. And that is a resource that may not be familiar to you because it wasn't to me. We just stumbled across it, and it was one of you in the community said, Drew, here's a website. Are you using it? If you're not, you should be. And those of you in the Overland community, you probably all know about this website. This website, or app actually, is Ioverlander. Ioverlander is a crowdsourced overlanding page that has all the boondocking sites you can find in any website and then a ton more. Why this app is so neat is that not only do they have typical free camping sites, they're doing sites that are, stretching it a little bit on the fringes, parking lots, back roads, little areas in parks. I mean, some of them probably aren't even legit sites. But as these overlanders go around the country or the world, they're plotting in locations where they stayed, sharing photos, what type of driving conditions are there, what type of tow vehicle or clearance you need to get into these sites. And this app has everything. It has water sources, gas, supermarkets, where you can get your vehicle repaired. I mean, just everything for people who are living an overland lifestyle. And I said there's a lot of things I like about this. I think the number one thing I like is that it can be used offline. So when I'm traveling, if I need the photos of sites, I need to get those before I leave home. But let's say I'm going out looking for a boondocking site out here, and the first one or the second one I had planned on staying at are taken up. Well, you can just open up that app, even if I don't have a cell signal, and I can look for a different location. I mean, that is pretty neat for those of us who are just out here finding site after site. Are you guys ready for this? There she be. But look at this, guys. Okay. Does it get much better than that? Look at that, it's as crystal as you can get, that water, right? Wow. And if you think it's just because we live in Alaska that we can find places like this, I will tell you, in my time when I went to school in Nebraska, I found sites that were just as beautiful, just as peaceful, and gave me the gratitude from what I saw around me, just like I'm seeing here in Alaska. The world was created to show us its beauty. It's all around us. Sometimes you have to work a little harder to find it and dig a little deeper, but if you guys get out there, I guarantee you, you're gonna find it.